He's carved a niche for himself at a very young age by completing NET, KCET, JRF, and obtaining double postgraduate degrees in sociology and psychology. The most striking aspect of his profile is that, in spite of being an art student, he is now pursuing his PhD at the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. He is a proud recipient of Azim Premji Foundation Fellowship in the field of education, has co-authored a book, and also works as a columnist for the Prajavani. Sir, we are extremely happy to have you as our guest speaker today, and a very warm welcome to you. Before we begin, a few instructions to the participants. You are requested to keep your audio and video off throughout the session. Questions addressed to the speaker can be posted in the chat box during the session. Participants are requested not to click on the share option during the session. The feedback link will be shared through the Zoom chat box only after the session. Sir, I now request you to take over the session.
Delighted to receive a warm welcome from the institute and from also from all of you. So please let me know which is the preferable language, so that I can speak in that, because I can speak both in Kannada and English, so it's not a problem for me. But the whole motto is that it should reach the people who are attending.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Please let me know if I can speak Kannada also, or only English, or both Kannada and English, or only Kannada. So what would be the preferable thing?
No, you could speak in English, and if at all in between, maybe wherever you can also use Kannada if at all required.
Okay. If audience are from Kannada, then we can use both the language.
Both maybe from both the mediums.
Okay. Thank you. I'll just share my screen. Is it visible?
Still. Yes, sir. Yes. Visible, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'll just tell you what is my structure of speech today. I'll be speaking for another 30 to 40 minutes. And it will include two major things. The first half will be on like what are the challenges post-COVID job market, and it will speak about few things like what are the challenges we are going to face in the job market, and what preparation we have to do as a job seekers, as a freshers. Basically, I'm focusing on freshers this morning. And the second part is few tips from my experience of working in this field. Few tips on preparation for interviews and preparation to enhance ourselves so that we can get a proper job, and we can achieve that. So this is my structure of the speech, and I'll be having around 30 to 40 minutes where I'll speak, and then I'll keep the floor open for around 15 to 20 minutes for a discussion, and we can go beyond if discussions are more. As the institution has told you, you can type your questions once the session is done. Please do not type now, because we may miss those questions. So you can please type those questions once the session is done. And please be alert that, especially for the students, please be alert that I may ask anyone at any point of time to answer my question, because I'm used to interactive kind of sessions. This one-sided and online mode is very new and unusual to me. So I may ask you in between I may name anyone to answer my question, because asking you to unmute and answer would not be a good. So I may ask you to answer any point of time. So please be alert. And for your bad luck, I have worked as a lecturer for around I guess for 3 years. So sometimes I may typically behave like a lecturer. So please bear with that. So now starting our session.
Excuse me, sir. Some of the participants say that they cannot understand Kannada, so maybe you could please continue in English itself.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's fine. Yes. Yeah. Few here and there, few things which cannot be explained in English, I may explain in Kannada, but major chunk would be in English.
Okay, sir. That's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll start with a small, not joke as such. I think there are few participants who are waiting. The institute on host can look for that. We are getting some notifications on that. You can please make note of that. I mean, some participants are waiting to come inside, so you can please allow. Yeah, I come from a coastal village called Haradi. It's near Brahmavara, in Udupi district. And I had a cousin, so he used to visit my home whenever there is a whenever there is a summer vacation, he used to come. I think I was in my high school at that time, and he was in his primary school. So he used to come there, and my home is very near to Arabian Sea. You know, most of the houses in coastal belt will be near to Arabian Sea, but my home is very near to Arabian Sea. He used to come and play, around seas, and he used to ask me what's the name of this sea. Then I told him it's Arabian Sea, and he was studying in Kannada medium. So when he was in 7th standard, in the exam, he got a question asked. So where is Arabian Sea? So Arabi Samudra Yellide. So he, rather than writing, it is in the western part of India. He wrote Arabian Sea is near Harishanna's house. So Arabi Samudra Yellide andre Harishanna mane hatra ide. So this is how we tend to perceive sometimes. So, and this online mode, the issue with the online mode is that I speak something, and though it will reach as it is, it will reach bit delayed, and sometimes my lips will be speaking something else, and you are hearing something else. So for that we have to bear, and I think we have to get used to these things. Let us see how it goes. First of all, I would like to thank Rohit and his officers from Field Outreach Bureau, Mangalore, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, for this effort to conduct this program. I'm really delighted and happy to be in the program. And second thing is that I would really congratulate, appreciate, and thank Besant Women's College English Department and all the lecturers and the management of the college for organizing this so well. I know how institutes respond us when we approach them, and what is the level of support. So by looking at this, I'm really I really appreciate this in whole efforts. I think this effort will help both of us. I can learn from you, and you can learn from me, for this process. So, and I welcome and thank all the participants. I can see around 200 participants now for joining this session. So we'll start. First, let me tell you what is the current situation. So the current situation is that if you see, I'm not speaking about the predictions, I'm speaking about the current situation. If you see, the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy says that after lockdown, I mean from April, after lockdown, 27 millions of youth have lost their job. 27 millions. I know being Indians, million sounds a little difficult for us. So to put it in Indian figures, the 27 million is 1 million is 10 lakhs. So in that sense, it is 270 lakhs, and in that sense, it is 2 crore 70 lakhs youths have lost their job. And youths means who are around within the age of 20 to 30 years, they have lost their job. And now let me come to the predictions. I'm not going to the statistical prediction, what will happen if this is the case. I'm not going to that, because provided we, you, and government and many other people put our efforts, we can change the predictions. And human beings have always changed the predictions which we have made. So I'm not going to those predictions. I'm going to a survey which is done by My Hiring Club. And it says that 73% of the institutes, they have interviewed around more than 3 to 4,000 of companies, and they got an answer saying that 73% of the organizations or employees are planning to decrease their salary from whatever they are having right now. And 57% of the employers have told that they will lay off their employees temporarily. Lay off in the sense they'll send them back home. Percentage of employers have told that they may lay off their permanent, their employees for at least next 2 years. So it is not only risky for the people who are entering the job market. It is already a issue for the people who are inside the job market. You might have seen many esteemed companies are, trying to, uh, cut their manpower, because they could not manage. When there is sales, when there is a proper service, when there is an income, they can have more of their employees. When there is no such things, then definitely they have to cut their employees. This is what happening. And we all, being an education, being an education institute, you all know that the private teachers and others are, having very terrible time, where institute is not able to pay their salary. And it is not only issue of the private employees, it's also about the institutes which run solely on the income or the trust and other funding. So they'll also find difficulty if the entire year is going to be not operating. In that sense, it is really a difficult time. But then we also have a ray of hope, where if you see in this slide, if you can see the last uh, point says that 32% of the employers did not have any job cut plans. It is good that at least 32 to 40% of the employees are saying that we'll try to keep our employees inside our system. If you see, the Hindustan Unilever has told that we have no plans to cut our employees. We will try to accommodate. So there are few areas or few sectors which are solely dependent on direct communication and the physical atmosphere of the job market. They may have to cut the people. So in that sense, this is the current situation. But we should not feel disheartened by looking at these things, because there is always a ray for hope. One example for that is that Alibaba. You might have heard of that company, which is a Chinese company. I know this is not a right time to speak about Chinese companies and Chinese government, but for the example sake, I'm using that because when we had a good relationship with China, and now situations are really worsening. But still, I use this as a example. Uh, Alibaba is a company which works in the digital market area. You might have heard the COVID is not very new. At least the corona virus family is not very new. We are having this since ages. And the common cold, flu, and other things we get is also from the family of COVID. The COVID, from the family of corona. COVID-19 is a new virus which we are getting now. So there was outbreak of SARS, happened in 2002, which led lot of issues led to a lot of issues in China, where one of the employee from Alibaba got affected by SARS, and they happened to shut their in factories. By that time, it was recently started company, and they were having around 400 employees. But they took it as an opportunity, where they worked. They made by that time, I really don't know whether there was access to laptop or not, but they made their employees to take desktop to their home, and they continued their work, and then they launched their digital marketing site, and that gave a good hit. And then now the Alibaba is having more than 1 lakhs of employees and a lot of turnovers, which you can see in in these slides. So there is always a hope, as I say, as I observe when our correspondent of your institute was addressing. He's saying that I see there are few there are few areas which will come up after this COVID, be it health, medicine, or the digital platform. So these things will definitely come. As you know, human beings are used to changes, and we adapt, we accommodate ourselves, and we adapt to that. I think definitely we'll adapt to COVID-19 also. As you know, this is one pandemic which we are facing, at least for our generation. We are facing, and this is very huge thing we are facing right now. I hope we'll be able to battle this. Let's coming to the post-COVID job scenario. What would be the nature of the job market? So the job market is one major thing. As I told, we will have less number of opportunities. We'll have less number of opportunities, because many of the sectors which is dependent on direct sales, which is dependent on direct manufacturing, which is dependent on the physical presence of the employees and the customers, will definitely suffer. So that will lead into the less opportunities. And as a result of that, we will have two less too less jobs and too many competitors. We'll have too less jobs and too many competitors. Just to give an overview, if you see at present, if there is an opening, there would be around 1,000 people applying for one job. Even at present, it is more than that, but just for an example sake, I'm taking this. Post-COVID or at this situation, there will be more than 10,000 of people applying for the same job because people are having less job opportunities and we have to compete for less number of jobs. So when there is competition, when there is more number of competitors, the competition is going to be very tough, and we have to prove our worth in a more better manner than we were doing earlier. And coming to the next point, employers may become too specific about their selection. This is also linked to the previous 2 points. There is very less number of jobs and we have very huge competition. The gap is very less and we have competition. As a result of that, the employers will have enough privilege to select the candidates they want. Earlier, they may adjust to a mediocre candidate, but now they cannot. They cannot because they have ample number of opportunities. They can select the right fit by taking more number of interviews, by introducing more ways of filtering people. They can take more appropriate candidate. So in that sense, the selection process will become more rigorous. When you have 10,000 people applying for one job, the opportunity to getting in becomes very rigorous, and employer will have number of opportunities to screen you out from the process. So it becomes more rigorous. And in the flip side of that, there will be increased job in the online and digital side. There will be more number of jobs in digital side, which becomes an opportunity to us, considering the number of job openings which is coming in this area. And just give me a moment. Yeah. And coming to the next point, rural area or from the areas which are not from the very metropolitan cities, like not from Bangalore or not from Delhi, Hyderabad, or such cities, might be from people from Mangalore, from Hassan, from Gulbarga, for Hubli, Dharwad. They have to struggle a lot. Even the rural students and people from tier 2 and tier 3 cities have to struggle a lot to get a job, because if you see, to prove ourselves better, we need to have a proper communication and a skill set which is expected by our employers, which we sadly we lack because of our many other challenges. And major communication is nothing but people look at English and people look at our ability to comprehend the things which we are doing and to able to express that. And communication is not only about being it is not only about being fluent in speaking. It's also about the written communication. It is also about the formal office communication. So when we lack that, it becomes very difficult to get in. Whereas the people or the candidates from urban area like Bangalore or from metropolitan cities will have more advantage because they are used to such kind of situations prior to this. So this is one challenge we have to face. But I'm saying this is not to make you afraid of the situation. It is just to make you clear about, or make myself or ourselves clear about the situation which we are going to face. It is not about making you feel in future events. It's about to get know things what is going to happen and to get prepared well so that we can face it adequately. And end of the day, what I need is at least I need only one job. So I don't need many jobs. I need only one job. So I should prepare myself so that I can get my job. So for that, we'll see how we can prepare. Now coming to the preparation point, let me brief whatever I have told right now. So we have spoke about the current statistics, how it is happening, and we may get more statistics if you use internet, and the current predictions or the survey made. And I've spoke about the current situation of the job market, where you have less number of opportunities, where you have too many competitors, where employers may become very specific about their selection. And the flip side, you will have more opening in the sector of digital side, online, and the medical profession. So research, health, So these are the things, nature of our job market. Now let us see what preparations we can do. Before that, let me just ensure that I'm adequately audible. Host or Rohit can just let me know if I'm adequately audible till now.
Yes, yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah, what should be our preparation? So our preparation should be in the area of, very important aspect is that we have to take charge of our own career. We are used to a certain process. We think that employer or an institute will give us job, and then they will plan for our career. This is how it happens. If you see, as you are in teaching sector, I can say that once you join, your HOD will tell you that you can have this course to improve yourself. You can have PhD in this institute, or employee enters, company account. Then his manager will say that you do this particular course so that you can improve yourself. But this is not the stage for that. We can't really expect others to design plan for our career. It is a time where we should have taken time to improve ourselves and to move from expecting others to plan for our career. It is better we plan for our own career, and we take charge of that. How to take charge of that, we'll see in the next slides. And the very important aspect you have to face, or you have to keep in our mind, is that how different am I? As I told you, this connects with the point where employers will look more for competitive candidates. Then you have to prove how different are you. Why should the employer hire you? Are you having good language skills? Are you having enough skills which employer wants? Are you different because you have done this particular course? Are you special because you have this particular competitiveness? Are you special because you belong to this particular area? Like, what is that makes you different from other competitors? So it is important to make yourself different from others. Difference is not only about having different qualities, it is also about having different qualifications, different skills. Provided you have utilized the lockdown period to enhance yourself, you can showcase that in your interview, that you have these courses which you have acquired, which is different from others. So you should show how different are you from other competitors, and that makes your chances of getting in more high. And coming to the next, improving your digital literacy. See, there was a time when people say learn computer. There's a time when people used to ask us, when you go to interview, do you know computer? Do you know how to use it? Do you know how to write an email? Do you know how to use a software? These things were asked as additional qualities. But we have to understood that in this age, it is not an additional quality. It is a very basic quality. Everybody should have. It doesn't matter, are you in a teaching? Doesn't matter, are you in accountancy? Doesn't matter, are you in the HR sector? Doesn't matter, are you in the health profession? It doesn't matter. These things are very compulsory, because now most of the companies operate through certain softwares. Though you are not working predominantly on softwares and other things, at least to function your daily routines, at least to function, to put your attendance, you have to do it through HRMS. If you are applying your travel allowance in a company, you are doing it through a ERP software. If you are applying for a leave, you are doing it through a software. If you are sending your reports, you are doing it through a software. So even your attendance are captured through a software and applications. So I'm not saying these are additional qualities. It's a must and basic quality. So try to get acquainted with these kind of basic digital literacy. Next, you can go to the further level. If your profession requires more or the additional digital skills, you should get it. But these things are very basic. All freshers should have that. All freshers should know how to use computers, should know how to use softwares, should know how to rectify few minor issues which is there in your system. So these are must. And coming to next, having a learner profile is very important. What do you mean by learning profile? Learning profile is you should be curious, creative, confident, dedicated, and a team player. Dedicated and a team player and a risk taker. Let me give you a context why it is important. If you see the layoff, or if you see people who are getting out of the job market, are the people who are in the mid-level. Because if you know, majorly organizations or majorly the employers do not send their top management to home. They do not lay off their CEOs, or they do not lay off their top management. They do not lay off their freshers also. They usually send people who are in the mid management, like mid managers. Why? Because they are the managers who get more salary just to manage the company. They are sending them off. Then what is the replacement? They will try to take people who are freshers, whom they can train and make managers. So they are not expecting you to have a high level skill. They are not expecting you to have a very high knowledge. They expect you to have a learner profile, a profile who is open to learn, a profile who is curious, who is creative, who is confident, and who is a team player. You might have understood what is meant by team player. I'll give you an example by quoting Dhoni and Sehwag, because cricket is something which everybody relates. There was a match. Dhoni was a captain of Indian team, and Sehwag was playing. It was against some team. I don't remember properly. Sehwag has already got 3 wickets in that match, and provided he would have got 5 wickets in that match, but Dhoni told today he stopped his bowling and he gave to a new bowler. And Sehwag asked after the match, why did you do that? If you would have given me next couple of hours, I would like overs, I would have taken further wickets and it would have made my record. Then Dhoni says, Sehwag bhai, you're a champion of batting, so you will gain confidence through batting. But that new bowler, if he takes 2 wickets today, his confidence increases for next match. So at least you are a batsman, so you will gain confidence there, and bowling doesn't matter you. But for that bowler, if he can take 2 wickets today, definitely his confidence will matter for next match. So it is better you give up your opportunity to help the bowler, because we need bowlers in our team. It's not only batsmen. We need bowlers also, so that confidence will help. So this is a team. This is a team playing. You have to keep being a leader. You have to keep account of every team members. It is not only about Sehwag or Sachin or top team players. It's also about the fielders. It's also about the bowlers to increase their confidence. So this was what we call team player. Why it is important? Today, to conduct this webinar, Rohit has to coordinate with me. I have to coordinate with the Rohit. Rohit has to coordinate with the Besant College. Besant College have to coordinate with number of you who have joined today. It's all team play. Team play. If we are not a good team players, we would have not done this program. We would have not made 200 people join this program. So it is a very important aspect, and we are moving towards more team playing. Today, you don't have one particular team in organization. When there is a decision should be taken on sales or marketing or some product, you will have teams from different team. For example, if you are having an organization or an employer which are running in FMCG. FMCG is like which produces soap, paste, and other daily usable products. If in their meeting, they'll have one person from sales and marketing. They'll have one person from finance. They'll have one person from production. They'll have one person from brand and innovation. So they'll have multiple people from different setups. So it is not only one team, it is the club of many teams. So it is very important to be a team player. So these qualities, if you have, and if you showcase that in your, interview, then the chances of getting interview and the chances of becoming efficient worker and getting job becomes increased. So now coming next, is my slide visible now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Sorry to trouble you in between because sometimes we miss this online thing. We will not know
Yes,
what is happening.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
It is
coming to
visible.
the next slide. Coming to the next slide. What should be our preparation? Okay. Now I'll ask few of the random, people. I'll stop share. Let me see how attentive you are. Please tell me how many of you have tried to upgrade yourself during lockdown. So tell me, what did you do in your lockdown? Now I can ask anyone. Let us see. Or you can type in your chat box. Please type, what did you do in the lockdown? You had your mother, because it's also rainy season. Your mother cooked good hapla, or good chicken and mude, or you had idli and chicken. So nicely, yeah, you spent your time. Is that so? So what did you had? Okay, attending certificate courses, webinars, attending webinars. Unfortunately, TikTok gone banned, so I think you stopped making videos also. Yeah, I can see answers: attending webinars and online courses, attending webinars, online quiz, attending diploma class, learned new skills such as Excel, SPSS. Wonderful. Okay. Yakshagana practice, nice. Attending webinars, listening groups, done creative arts, learned to conduct Zoom meeting in the class, nice. Praveen Kumar says helped people to do food and thousand, really nice. Attended webinar, quizzes, online courses, sports and nutrition. Yeah, thank you so much. So let me continue my presentation. I asked this because if you speak, and I know as chat box is, I'll get only things which you write here. If I know pinpoint few people and ask them, definitely I know few people would have not done, not utilized the lockdown. I can sense from this is that many people have utilized it in a very good manner. It's really good to know. And we are at least privileged. The migrant workers, their energy went in traveling back to their home from Bangalore. People walked from Bangalore to Gulbarga. People have walked from Bangalore to, uh, Davangere, Hasana, or Udupi. People have walked from Mumbai to Yadgir, Gulbarga, those regions. So at least we are privileged so that we can have a time to improve ourselves. We can have time to improve ourselves, and we can have time to do all these stuffs. So it is better we utilize those things, because everybody don't get such privilege. Now, what you should have done, or many people have done that, or at least if you have not done, you can start upgrading yourself. Have certain online courses. Most of the online courses are not paid. You will get many online courses. Yeah, attending webinar and other things really helps, but do something tangible, which you can utilize it. See, attending a webinar, it becomes a helpful to increase your knowledge level, but whereas in attending a webinar will not, you can't use it as a certifier. That's the issue. So try to attend online courses or short-term courses which will certify. So what could be that? I'll refer you certain things. You can make note of that. You might have heard about Coursera. Coursera, Coursera, Coursera. I can send it to Rohit later. I'll send this PowerPoint also. Institute can send you. So having this Coursera, Udemy, 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 EDX, and many government portals will provide you certain online courses for free of cost. To get certification, you may have to pay, but to get knowledge, you will definitely get. Be it anything, Excel, SPSS, digital marketing, Tally, knowing about GST if you're going to accounts, knowing about digital marketing if you're from MBA or BBM, knowing about human resource skills, HRMS softwares if you're a BA graduate or if you're a MSW or MBA graduate, knowing about digital marketing, yeah, I have told. Knowing about many other platforms used in your profession, if you are from agriculture or other nutrition or other areas, knowing about the recent happenings, these courses will help you. And try to make internships with institutes which will provide you. If you can go in your place, it is fine. If not, few online internships also. This internship will increase your opportunity to get into a job market. If you're a fresher, and if you're a fresher with the internship, the person who is fresher with the internship will have upper hand to get their job. Now build your network and online presence. The second point is that build your network and online presence. It's very important. So how do you do that? You have multiple online platforms. Google, like online platform does not only have TikTok, Facebook, or Insta, or whatever else platforms. It also has Facebook groups, which are meant to advertise jobs. There are many websites, blogs, which will tell you about the education institute, which will tell you about online job openings and other things. So try to subscribe that. Many YouTube channels which will which will broadcast which will telecast on many aspects of getting job and other things. So try to get membership of those things. So building network and online building network is one area where you try to gather network from your lecturers, your teachers, your friends, your seniors. Try to get their contacts and don't hesitate to tell them that I am searching job and please help me. Job will not come to you. You have to do that. Second, build online presence. Online presence is that make your presence in every Facebook platform which is meant to provide you a job. Get enrolled to LinkedIn. LinkedIn will tell you about high-end jobs. Register for Naukri, the government portal like NCS. Register for the portals which are like Monster, Naukri, Baba Jobs, Shine.com, many other such platforms. So increase your presence. There are internship platforms like Internshala. There are portals which provides you about scholarship. So try to enroll and increase your presence. If your presence is more, you will get to know more number of opportunities. If your presence is less, you will get to know less number of opportunities. And it is very important at this juncture, we should not be skeptical about few roles. For example, sales and marketing. I'm emphasizing this because I come across a lot of people in my daily work who are very skeptical about roles. I'm not saying that you don't have preferences. Definitely have. I have preferences. I want to be in academics and teaching, so I have applied for PhD and I've got in. Likewise, you will also have your preferences. Teachers who are here will have their own preferences. It's not wrong. But I'm saying don't fix yourself with those options only, because you will have more options if you keep yourself open. For example, sales and marketing. I'll give a small example about that. We usually think that sales is like you go door to door and sell something, or you people in Kannada we say ಈ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ರಂದುವುದು, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ದಮ್ಮಯ್ಯ ಹಾಕುವುದು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಒಂದು ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್. ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಮನೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು, ಮನೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ ಐಟಮ್ ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಾಪಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸೋದು, ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. Sales and marketing has moved above that. Let me give you one example. Many of you are using ATM card, and you might be getting sometimes message to get a credit card. You know what is credit card? Credit card where you can take some credit from the bank though you don't have balance. Bank in the ಸಾಲ ತಗೋಬಹುದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಹಣ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಕೂಡ to certain amount. ಆ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. How that message comes to you? It is not a random message sending process. They do analysis behind that. What is analysis? They track people's transaction through ATM. They'll see how much ATM card one is using. If a person is using ATM card for more than 20, like 10, 15 times in a month, or using very frequently, they'll catch hold of those guys, because if you're using your ATM card frequently, either you need more money, or or you are having a very unusual way of managing your money. You don't have proper plan. You don't have proper understanding how to use money, so you are going frequently. If you have a proper plan, you will take money in only few intervals, like 2-3 times in a month. If you're taking 10-15 times in a month, that means that you are not having plan to how to utilize your money. People who don't have plan will take more loans. They'll take loans when they don't have proper plans. They may, end up spending more and take loans. So company thinks that if you are having this particular character, you can utilize our credit card. So they send message to those people whom they can utilize. So this is one simple example. I'm saying marketing is not just selling things. Marketing not just propagating your product. It's also about lot of analysis behind that. And to give another simple example, you are using Facebook. I know many of you use Facebook. In Google, if you have checked for a new watch, a Titan watch or a Fossil watch, or you have seen something about bike or some wallet, tomorrow or just immediately when you start browsing your Facebook, you will see ads of watch in the right corner or left corner of your Facebook page. From where it comes? It is not a random campaign. They are tracking your activity in the Google, and they are sending you those messages from Flipkart or Amazon to take that product. So it comes from a background analysis. So marketing is about that also. So there are so many things. So don't be skeptical about marketing and sales. And if you know, most of the CEOs of the successful companies are from sales background, because when you the sales and marketing, you are pushed to the edges and you are made to learn new skills, handling a team, facing targets and other things. It will give you a good, life ahead. So these things are very important. So don't be skeptical about the roles. Try to push yourself and get used to the roles which you're doing. And being independent, expand. I'm saying, like at this stage, not only think about coming to Bangalore or city. I know many of us, including me, do not want to come to a metropolitan city. Provided if we get opportunities, we'll definitely want to live in our own villages or our own cities we belong to. But many of us may not have land to cultivate. Many of us do not have opportunity in our cities. Then we are compelled to come to the metropolitan cities. People who don't have enough opportunities in your place, please come to the cities. If you have opportunities to come to, to expand your family business, please do that. Increase your, expand your father's business or mother's business. Try to see from your education. As you are graduates, try to see how you can expand your father's business, how you can give a digital touch to it, how you can expand its visibility in the digital market. I'm saying, just to give an example, if your father is running a business of goli soda or something which is very, or some sherbet or something which is very unique to your place, try to see how you make it a brand, how you make it a nostalgical experience, where you set up a cafe and people come there. I should tell you, in Udupi, I have a friend called Avinash Kamath. He has started a cafe only for eaters, for vegetarians. It is called Egg Cafe. Only egg. He has around some 100 dishes, which is only made of egg. It is Egg Cafe. So you can think in that way and try to see. I know there are challenges of the investment and other things. If you are well off regarding that, definitely try. Don't get into jobs and other things in Bangalore, other cities. Try to expand your business, whatever you have. Try to give a touch of education. If you have agriculture and horticulture, try to utilize the knowledge you have gained from your graduation. Try to utilize the skills you have. Try to know more about having less investment and getting more yield. Try to invest less on fertilizers and get more yield. If you have more land, you can definitely try to cultivate other crops, not only rice, not only paddy or not only other major crops. Try to have mixed croppings. Many things you can explore. You can read in the internet. You are privileged than your father or mother who are less educated. Right. So these things are very important. And next, you should have increased self-confidence and mental health. I'm not going to speak about more. You have understood by looking at things happening around us, be it the suicide of businessman, be it the suicide of an actor, or people who are successful. It is only because we are not keeping our mental health properly. Try to ensure that you keep yourself motivated. Motivation is not just a concept. Try to work hard, get skills and get knowledge and go further. It will motivate you. Just motivating yourself, watching YouTube videos will not motivate us. Rather, it will end us in, binge watching, repeatedly watching YouTube channels and getting demotivated. Better, we should keep our, motivation high with the exercises, with reading, with knowledge, with people connection. And if you feel that you need help, please seek to the people with whom you are. Seek the help of the professionals who are in the mental health area. Let me put the next slide. So, yeah, let me tell you why you should understand a job. These things, whatever I've spoke till now, are regarding our preparation for post-job, post-COVID job market. And it is not only for post-COVID; it's also about the general preparation. Also, you need to know all these things to prepare ourselves. Now let us move to the next slide. By now, I have spoke around 40 minutes. I'll speak for next around 10 minutes and I'll finish it, and then we'll keep the floor open for questions. Yeah. So you should understand that if I'll tell you one incident where we get lot of uh, job seekers every day to my employment office, where you see people come and say, what do you want to do? They'll say, sir, I'm in Hassan, I want some job, so any job is fine. Then I ask him what you have studied. Sir, I am engineer, but I want any job in Hassan. I'm fine with that, sir. Yenadru parvagilla. Okay, then there is a garment industry. Uh, do you want to join that? He says, no, sir, I don't want to join a garment industry. Okay, but sir, anything is fine, sir. Okay, then I'll ask him. There is a Agachi technology which is into product manufacturing. So do you wish to come inside? He'll say, sir, that is not good, sir. I need something else. Then I'll ask, what else you need? Sir, sir, anything is fine. Then okay, man, there is an industry, there is a Muthoot Finance. Will you go there? He says, sir, do I need to do field? I say, yeah, it is a field based. Sir, field work on the bed, anything is fine. Then what do you need? Sir, anything is fine, sir. So we don't have our preferences. We don't know which sector we can work. We don't know what is expected salary. Sir, 100,000 ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತು, but we should know the freshers of this time will get something between 8 to 20,000. We don't get more than 20,000. The ideal salary we get is 10 to 12,000 or 15,000. This is how we should start. This is how I also started. Then it goes further. So we should know that, but we don't know that. So it is very important to understand a job and job market. First, we should understand why I need this job. Second, what skill that job needs. Do I have that or not? And what formal education it needs. What are the added advantage? Do they want me to know Hindi? Do they want me to know the local language? Do they want me to have very fluent English or just manageable, or it's only Kannada? You should know that. And what is the future growth and opportunities you have? But now I'm telling, given the COVID situation, don't think too much about anything. Just join the job market, gain some experience, and wait for a right opportunity. We can't have so many preferences at this moment. Now we'll come to the next slide. There is a process. Why you should, don't worry about the slides, I'll explain you. So what the process is that we are very unique. Something which I like, you will not like. Something you like, which I do not like. So we are very unique. So we should know that we should find something which matches ourselves. And we are going to spend around 40 years in our workplace. And and we are going to spend around 80,000 of work hours. So it is good that we should make that very fruitful. Otherwise what happens, ಯಪ್ಪ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಆಫೀಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾನೆ we can't spend our 40 hours in life. You should have some zeal in the work. If it is possible only with the two aspect. One, you should get the job which you like, or you should like the job which you got. You can't live in the dilemma for 40-50 years. I don't like this job, or I don't want to do this. It's very important to have a proper understanding of ourselves. This process comes through a circle where you know yourself, and where you explore the opportunities, set goals, and make plans and take actions. This is a very important process. Now you might be thinking, I'm in graduation. I've already done my graduation. I've specialized my area. So what is there to think and explore? This applies for 10th standard kids. No, it applies for everybody. If you're in graduation, let me give an example of a commerce sector. If you're an accountant, if you want to be in the field of commerce, if you're going to BCom or MCom, you need to understand within BCom, within commerce, there are many sectors. You can get into accounts, like core accounts. You can get into audit. I'm not a commerce graduate, but I'm just giving an example. You can get into auditing. You can get into core accounts. You can get into firms which works as a consultant for others. You can get into back-end process of the banking. You can get into digital marketing. You can get into background verification and other aspects of the banking. You can get into banking itself. You can get into public sector, government banks, government organizations as as clerks, or as SDAs. So there are many opportunities. You need to figure out which one you fit in most. So in that sense, you can definitely plan at this moment also. And we'll go to the next slide where I'm speaking about what is the process of selection. You all know this, and this is a huge topic. We will not be able to cover these things, but I'm just giving a glimpse of that. There will be screening, test, group discussion, interviews, background verification, and selection. Every company need not to have all these things, but this is a general process followed. Now let us understand that the first and foremost thing is the screening. And now in the time of COVID, screening is very important, where you have more than 5,000, 10,000 are required application for one job. First screening is very important. For that, you need to have a proper set of resume. Which can give you a fetch you interview. Have a very comprehensive resume, which is different from others, which is very unique, and which has additional points which says about your qualities, which will fetch you an interview. It is very important to have, keep mind in those things. And having proper records and reflecting it genuinely. Have your caste and income certificates if you're applying for a government. I think Rohit can help you in understanding how it has to be taken properly, through which channel. Because many people apply central government jobs with the help of state government OBC list, but central has a different OBC list, which is not applicable for you. So you have to check whether your caste name is in the central OBC list, or your religion, or whatever it is. So these things should be proper and genuine, so that you don't get failed in the background verification after getting through a job. Many companies do background verification very strictly. So I'm focusing on 2 points. One, have a good resume so that you get interview. Only if you get interview, you can prove yourself. Second, have proper documents. And before entering the job market, or before entering into your, before entering into a job interview, you need to know few things. Know yourself better. Because most of the questions, at least for the first few minutes, it will be based on how you know about yourself. Sadly, we know what a Kannada film star Yash likes. Sadly, we know what Radhika Pandit likes. Sadly, we know what kind of or how many kinds of sandals Deepika Padukone has, how many types of car Dhoni has, but we don't know what I like. We don't know what is my qualities, what is my qualities, and what are my, uh, uh, you know, uh, what are my limitations. I really don't know. So these things are important to know, and your interview will be more focused on that. As I said in the beginning, they look for a learner profile. They look for a, they don't look for intelligent people. There is a lot of intelligent. They look for committed. They look for a very genuine person. They look for a hardworking person. So try to be that. Don't try to portray that. Try to be that in the interview. And second, know your employer with whom you are going to get contact. Know your employer. Knowing employer is not just knowing when organization got started. Knowing employer is not just knowing what are the roles they have. Knowing employer means what are their values. What is the system of that employer? For example, if you are applying for Wipro, because I worked with a Wipro, I mean not Wipro as such, I worked with Azim Premji Foundation. I know they give 50% weightage for your personal values, your ethics, your perspective about gender, your perspective about human beings, co-beings. So you should know that. If you know that, you can do your interview well. There are few organizations like Tata and other, they give importance for people who are open to learn. There are few organizations who are very rigid. They have their own structure. They want you to get adjusted to that. They don't expect you to, bring some innovations. There are many things in one organization. Few organizations are open for innovations, open for new, like new creativity. Few organizations are they already have a fixed process and they want you to get into that. So please try to understand that. How do you know that? How will you get to know that? Try reading about those things in the internet. Try asking people who are already working there. If you don't know anybody in your contact, try approaching people in LinkedIn, Facebook who are working there. Ask them. For my PhD interview, I have spoke to 30 to 50 people whom I don't know. I've contacted them through LinkedIn, social network areas, and then get to know, talk to them, take their numbers out, chat with them. This preparation you need to do and know the role you are going to apply there and what skills it needs, and know the interview format. What could be the format? Is it a one round interview, two round interview? What will be the selection process? Are they going to have multiple panels or whatever it is? Know about that. Prepare and anticipate questions, which question they may ask. I know interviews will not go as we as we expect, but you can expect few questions. For that you get prepared. The rest of the things you should leave to the interview panel. And always have a general knowledge about things happening in our society, be it be about the current COVID situation, be it be about the political situation, be it be about society. Please try to have those things with you. Yeah, we'll go to the next one. Yeah, so we'll come to know for the next, it is about the preparation on that day. I mean the majorly preparation on the day of interview. Wear a comfortable dress. I know few people want to look good for interview, but wear the dress if you already earlier. Because if you're wearing a new dress, you will become very anxious about that. A female wearing a sari during interview, you might have not used to those things, then you will get very conscious about that. Ayyo nanna sire, ayyo nanna hosa batte, ayyo nanna hosa shoe. No, we should not bother. Wear a comfortable dress, which you are comfortable with. You should not mind about the interview, the questions, and your not about your appearance as much. And try to get to know those institute, what they look for. Are they looking for a formal wear, or are they looking for a casuals, or are they okay with any kind of dress? So try to gather some information, prepare for that, and organize your thoughts before answering. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to ask them if you have not understood your question. Please say them, no, you have not understood the question. Don't answer randomly. Take time to answer those questions. And if they ask certain questions which needs some background work, like if they ask you your salary expectation, if you don't know that, take time. You can tell them that, sir, I'll let you know after going back from my interview. I'll let you know within 1 or 2 days. So basically, don't hesitate to say that you don't know this. You need not to know everything. So let's just tell them that you don't know this and be open interview and end it with a proper gratitude and expressing, wish to work with that organization. And now I'm focusing on what should be done after the interview. It is very important to have a proper set. I mean, a proper. I'm sorry, not set. Proper way of uh, proper way of having communication after interview. Many people lose job because of their improper way of communication. So before you end your interview, ask them, sir or madam, when can I expect the result? If they say within 1 week, then please mail them or message them after 2 weeks and ask them. Then give a call. Don't frequently ask them because of the WhatsApp and other things. I keep messages in the midnight asking about the interview results and other things. We should not say, you might think that these are very simple things and it is not needed, but I'm focusing on these things because we do simple mistakes which will affect our career. So try to have a proper communication even after the interview. If you do not get proper communication, if they want you, definitely they'll contact you. If they don't want us, it definitely means that either they have stopped their process or they have not shortlisted me. I know we'll be desperate to get job, but it is better we have a proper communication which doesn't make them make them uncomfortable. These things are important. And now I'm coming to the last slide of my presentation. There are few points being fresher we need to focus. One is that having a depth and breadth of knowledge. What is depth and breadth of knowledge? Depth is having enough knowledge in the area if you are applying. What you are applying. For example, if you are applying for the area of accounts, you need to have a deeper understanding of the accounts. If you're applying for the area of nutrition, applying for the area of agricultural science, applying for the area of medicine, applying for the area of human resource management, have a deeper understanding of that. And what is breadth? Breadth is having understanding on ranges of issues happening in your society. Depth is in your area, breadth is about many areas around you. Be it be political knowledge, be it be social knowledge of your society, be it be the economics around you. I'm not saying the fine nuances of economic sociology, knowledge about your society. Why do you need that? Let me give an example of a doctor. Doctor should have in-depth knowledge of their medicine field, but they also should have in-depth knowledge of the society they are dealing with. If they have that knowledge, they can see from where my patient is coming, what is the patient's family background, what is patient's caste and education level, where is he coming from, what is his class, whether the patient is from rich, poor, or either from urban or rural area, then what is their affordability for medicines, which medicine I should write, should I write a medicine which is of the higher value or less, or what other precautions I should say. For example, if you say maintain social distance for the people who are living in the slum, it's really difficult because they have only one house and there will be 10 people living in one house. So you can't suggest that. So knowing about your society is very important. If you are a lecturer, if you want to become a lecturer, and if you don't know from where your students are coming, you can't teach properly because you need to know from where they are coming. So if you don't know the history of India, you will not know how our politicians will behave. What is the vote bank politics they're doing? What is the political implication? So it is very important to know all these things being a common citizen, to have a depth knowledge in your subject, have a breadth in your other aspects of the society. Next point is that having very important is that having clarity on the first job. It is very important to have minimum 1 or 2 years, minimum 2 years of engagement with the first employer. I see a lot of youngsters work for 1 or 2 months, 6 months, leave this job and join other thing just for some change of salary or place. Don't, please do not do that. You may not get the salary you expected. You may not get the privilege you expect in your first job. Don't worry about that. First job is to learn salary, not comfortabilities. If you don't get salary also, please bear for some time and get your job and learn skills, learn knowledge. After 5 years, you can expect the salary you want if you invest this first 2 3 years. Don't worry about the brand, don't worry about the salary, don't worry about other things. Just join and learn skills. And don't wait others to teach you. Approach people in your company, approach people outside, learn and build your knowledge. This is the society, this is a world which gives life to the people only who are open to learn. And don't get into gossips and politics of the organization when you join. Leave aside all the things, but please observe the politics. It is a very important aspect of the organization. Please observe how the communication pattern is. Please observe who is dominating the organization. Please observe who is holding the organization's major power. Please have observation on that, but do not play. Do not get involved in that, at least in the initial phases. It's your decision to involve or not. I don't have any say on that. Please observe that. Please aware about the politics, because it's very important. Sometimes the experienced people will know here that without your knowledge, you will get involved in certain politics of the organization that will ruin your work and your name. So please observe that. So I'm saying, please stay in the first organization for at least 2 years. So you will get enough knowledge, you'll get enough skills, you'll also know about the politics which is happens in the organization. And the last point is that please, it's like art, literature, sports, exercise, not only about job and reading, not only about the things which, which is not certainly not important, but please make your life very comfortable with the things which are like art, literature, other things. We make your life very comfortable and very beautiful, because if you spend your Sunday very well, you can deliver good, on your Mondays. If you spend your good time in watching a good movie, good literature, good, getting on a good sport, it will make your efficiency increase in your job. So try to have a balance. So this is what I wanted to say. And this is our portal, ncs.government.in. You can take a screenshot or you can make a note. www.ncs.government.in. It's a Government India's portal where you can register for jobs, where you can have certain, sometimes it is linked to certain courses also, that you can approach this portal. You can register. Only you need is that your Aadhaar number and basic details. You can register from your mobile. So please get get utilized. Along with this, also register for your other portals like Naukri and other private portals. So try to see about more opportunities. So I thank you for this opportunity, for your patient hearing, and Rohit and his Ministry of Information and Broadcast for providing this opportunity, and especially Besant College of Women for Besant Women's College for this opportunity, for efficiently organizing this program and providing this platform to interact, basically not interact, to give certain thoughts on the job market which I have. And if you have any queries, you can definitely write to me, to my email ID which I've written there. And at present I'm not using the Facebook. Please, you can, with this name, you can search for my LinkedIn ID, Harish Shetty Bansal, LinkedIn ID. You can please write me if you want any help in terms of suggestions on job or further education or career. I'll try to reply. And if I get time and other things, I'll definitely try to reply. Though not immediately, I'll definitely try to reply. So thanks once again. All the best for your future. I know we are in a very difficult situation of COVID-19. As humans, we have come across many such difficult situations, and we have faced that efficiently. We'll have that courage, and we'll have certain precautions, whatever is needed to take. So I think we'll manage that. So all the best to everyone. Thank you so much. Now I'm keeping floor open for the questions. The organizers can decide how much we can have for discussion and other things. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the very inspiring address loaded with information. I'm sure the participants have got a number of questions to ask, and so we will now have the interaction session. Over to Mrs. Rupa and Mr. Gautam to moderate the same.
Can I please know how many minutes we have for things, because I can stay up to 1 o'clock, not because I'll be having certain other engagements also.
So there are around 6 to 8 questions.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello. Sir, there are around 6 to 8 questions, sir.
Okay. Okay. Should I read from chat box, or will you read out for me, like what's the process?
We will read out the questions to you, sir.
Okay. 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 Fair enough.
Good afternoon, sir. That was a wonderful presentation. And without further ado, we will take up the questions now. So the first question here is, which internship would you suggest for students?
Okay. Yeah, internship is basically, it's not to all students. It depends on the stream you are in. If you are in the stream of accounts, then you need to see internship in that area. If you're in the stream of human resource management, and that you have to see. If in a stream, it depends basically on your stream. So I know at this situation, finding a physical, but definitely try to find suiting your area, one, and second, try to get an internship. If you are not, candidates are stronger. Rather than doing nothing and sitting at home, it is better you take an internship, preferably in your area, if you what you have studied, or the area if you want to enter. Sometimes you may not get the area if you have studied, so you can get the area which you have entered. Better to have like some internship.
Okay, thank you, sir. How do we upgrade ourselves through online courses in an effective manner? This is the second one.
Okay. Online courses, again, it is very domain specific. I'm again giving an example of if you're into MBA or other things, definitely you can upgrade yourself to knowing about digital marketing, marketing on the platforms of social media, data mining, big data analysis, other things. If you're in the accounts, definitely on the new softwares. If you're in the human resource management, definitely on the improving communication skills. So it is all depends on the area domain you are in. Try to look for platforms which are, if you can pay, definitely you can pay and take. If you're not affordable, try to get from the platforms like Coursera, Udemy, EDX. These will have few free courses. Sometimes you have to pay money for certification, but courses will be free. So try to get the courses which is of the recent trend and which is of your domain.
Thank you, sir. The third question is, how do you build a presence in LinkedIn?
Okay. So presence in the LinkedIn is that just have a profile. You go to LinkedIn, create your profile, add all your resume. You can upload your resume, or you can just mention your thing. Once you do that, it is a random profile. You just see what kind of people you want in your connection. Try to like the pages or the employers of your area. Try to get connected with it's not like Facebook where people only get connected with the people they know. LinkedIn is a place, it's like a professional connection where you can send connection to anybody. Just search people, it will give random suggestions also. Try to have their connections. And LinkedIn also has a feature, if you update your preferences of job, it will also send you a mail on current openings. But issue the LinkedIn is that LinkedIn has more of high-end jobs, like jobs from abroad or jobs from high-end organizations. So that is something as a fresher would be difficult thing, but definitely it may help you being in a multiple platforms.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Next question goes like this. In this situation, are there any suggestions for media teachers.
Media teachers,
Yeah, that's the
Yes.
word used here. That's the phrase used here. Media
like
teachers.
people who are teaching in the field of media journalism.
Yes.
Maybe online courses, or how teachers can make use of online platforms.
Okay, okay. Okay, let me just clarify the question. So, is it a question that suggestion for teachers who are in the field of media, or is it for the general teachers to use the media, online media,
I guess it's for teachers who are in the media in that field.
that field, in the field of domain of journalism or media?
Yes, yes.
So, don't take it other way. My genuine and my very prompt, not suggestion, request is that make our students very sensible. The kind of media kind of media we are having right now, for example, even take the cases of COVID-19, we are having the media which says that so many people are dying every day. We are just providing chaos in the media, whereas in we have 7 lakhs of cases as of yesterday. In that, 4 lakhs of people have got cured and they are back from home, but we are not showcasing that. We are showcasing only very important to make your students very sensible reporters, very sensible media persons. That is the first thing we have to do. So give them multiple perspectives about media things. And second thing is that we see it is very important to have your students to get the practical knowledge of the media, how it functions, what is the studio room, how it works. So put them on the internship, put them on the practical side of that. And there are few institutes may have that, having a proper media outlet within a college so that they get exposed to these things. And majorly the sensitivity part which really bothers me, that is my humble request rather than my suggestion and such.
Then there's a participant who is from an educational institution. Her qualifications are MCom, MEd, MA in economics, and NET qualified. She doesn't have job security. So any suggestion for her, sir?
Yeah, so we don't have life security itself. I don't know how to say about the job security. So see, when you are more qualified, definitely you are in the upper hand. You are in the upper portion compared to others. Only thing is that we should see how we utilize that. As I said, try to have more contacts, try to have more presence in the online, and try to have more innovations in terms of finding more contacts, finding more platforms. I think that will give us. And job security is not one thing which we should really bother. I think job security will make us very very, what I call in Kannada we call jada, like make you very stable and make you do not work efficiently. Job security is very important, in terms of having a security and in terms of having a peace of mind, but that is only one aspect of that. We should focus more on building ourselves and getting into the field, and job security will automatically come as a result. If we are more skilled and more qualified, definitely we'll get the job security. Job security is very very narrow way of looking at the job market.
So the next question is how the students from the final year can prepare themselves for the online interviews.
Online interviews, yeah, from the final years. So the first thing is that for the first years, if you should start preparing from today itself, so that when you come to final years, you don't get panic. And people who are in the final year, preparing online is that have enough demo with your teachers or with your friends. Zoom is free for everyone, at least the 40-minute session, or you have WhatsApp, you can make WhatsApp calls. So try to get acquainted with this medium. That is very important, because once you go for an interview and if you're taking the online test or online interview, you will get panicked and you miss a lot of things. So try to get acquainted with that. So the best thing you can do is that talk to your faculty members in the college or your friends, create create Zoom or Google Meet IDs, and have a demo interview, know about all the options and other things, and you get acquainted. Rest of the things applies for non-online or online interview. The other things are same.
There's a last question, sir. Could you please list some good online courses or internships which is apt in this current situation?
I have told it already. The majorly depending on the current situation, the online market is booming very much. So I think we have to focus on that, how to have in our skills in terms to the digital literacy, and in terms of the digital side of the marketing or digital side of your profession is one. Second thing is that we understand that by looking at the situation, rural places and other cities compared to metropolitan cities are more stable, because people are coming back to their villages, people are coming back to their cities from metropolitan cities because it's more safer. I think we can also increase our skills in the area of utilizing the resource which we have in our place. Like if you see the case study of Nivedan Nimpe, he has started a industry on having areca tea, out of areca, like adike. So these things, and I said about the egg cafe and other things. So we can have those things, but this is purely about your local market. In terms of the online thing, definitely the courses which are relevant to the current job market, and specifically skill oriented, like on data, on software, on Excel and these things, or else the generic courses to improve your general skills of communication, your skills of English, your skills of speaking to other people, skills of writing, so skills of research. These things can help you.
So another question, what is your take on the future of traditional courses such as BA, BCom and so on, sir?
Yeah. BCom definitely will have future, because accounts is one thing which every industry should have. But the nature of BCom may change by introducing more technology and online part of it, which we need to be updated. But I'm little apprehensive about BCom, because looking at the number of people getting into BCom, it's really worrisome, because arts has total, and people who can't get into science and other things are flooding into BCom. If you see, all the colleges have thousands of students in the BCom. Then after next 4 or 5 years, it would be really difficult to find people to get job in the BCom sector, because people at the BCom are very much high. The number of people who are there in the BCom is very high, so that we may find a little difficult. But still, BCom will always have its presence, because if in finance and accounting is very important. You have done it, so don't worry about that. You'll get one or the other job. For the people who want to get into that, try to make them go into field which is more in terms of the online thing, which is more into the production and other area, so that they can improve. There's more into the manufacturing and other. And regarding BA, see, it's very difficult to answer, because I am also from social science. There are very less job opportunities which employs this knowledge and skill you get from BA. Like what can you do with the political science? Will you become an assistant for some politician or some political organization which is working in the sector of political governance? You can do only when you get MA in political science and you do a good quality research. Then you can get into political governance and other aspects of the political science. What do you do with the sociology? You can become a sociologist or researcher only you produce such quality. But with the just knowledge of sociology from the BA, or like knowledge from political science, it's difficult to find a job in the normal job market. So you need to find for other alternatives. You can do MSW, where you can work in the field of social work, social work, development studies, healthcare, and other things. You can find jobs in the area of public sector, like see any BA. Now for banking exams, any BA or BCom, anybody can try that. Only thing you need to prepare yourself with the maths and other things. Definitely there are coaching institutes, online, offline. You can try for that. And for BA, you definitely try for other streams like sales and marketing, microfinance, banking, human resource management, these things. So you need to look for other alternatives. Looking jobs from the core social science field is very difficult, unless you achieve something very high in that and become a researcher or become an academician. It's very difficult.
We have another question here, sir. How helpful these online classes are, especially when it comes to job interview? What kind of weight do they carry? How important they are?
Yeah. So we need to understand the clear-cut difference between the pre-COVID and post-COVID. Pre-COVID, people used to give more importance for courses you get from direct education, like from regular mode. But post-COVID, everybody is getting acquainted towards the online course and other things. So that will definitely give you a weightage. And second thing is that though it doesn't give you much of like leverages, but definitely it can make your profile different from others. You have things to say in your interview. What did you do during the lockdown? I know next interviews will have this mandate question. What did you do in your lockdown? What did you do? How did you utilize it? Because it's a very important question to understand what is your personal motivation? What is your personal level of learning? So then definitely these online courses will add value to your resume, will add value to your personality when you present yourself, and definitely the skills. It is not only about certification. You can say that I've learned R or learned Excel or SPSS, but you need to showcase that skill also. Anybody can say that I've learned that, showcase that skill also. So online courses definitely will help you, but how far it will certify your knowledge, that depends on you, how you showcase that in the interview. So I think that it is a case where something is better than nothing.
Okay, so one last question. With reverse migration from foreign countries, how is it possible to secure jobs for locals in India?
Yeah, I recently came across a bill, I think passed or getting passed in Qatar. It says that 8 lakhs of Indians have to come back to India. So, that's really difficult. But there are two things how it will affect the Indian job market. One, it will definitely affect because you are going to get a huge number of people. But how far it is going to affect specifically, I'm not in a position to answer because this is a topic of research and other things, and I need to have more skills to answer that. Unfortunately, I do not have, but I can answer only from my common sense and commonsensical understanding that when they look for opportunities, it will become difficult for us also to compete with them. But we need to also understand that people who come from foreign are in expectation of some other salary, which freshers are not expecting. Because they will be getting around more than 50,000, 1 lakh or other things. That obviously freshers are not competing for that job. And the kind of job they do will have lesser pay in India. For example, a salesperson in Qatar or other place would be getting 50, 60,000, but salesperson in India will get only 20, 25,000. So it is also difficult for them to get acquainted to this kind of job market and setting. So one thing I can definitely say that freshers need not to worry about that because they are not going to compete with the kind of jobs you are entering in, with the kind of salary you are getting in, unless they are pushed to that that's edges where they have to adjust with anything they get. Otherwise, freshers need not to worry. Definitely, they also will have tough time once they come back to India and once they start. So we have to encounter that. There is no other way.
Thank you for this wonderful session. Over to Preetama.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful session, loaded with information. It was very inspiring. Thank you so much. Now I request Mr. Girish Kumar to propose the vote of thanks.
Just wanted to understand one thing, the loaded information, just to understand myself, to understand and to make it better. So loaded in the sense, was it, loaded very much that I was skipping into different topics, or was it difficult to,
No, sir. It was very interesting. It was
in
very
that sense, or loaded in the sense?
no. It was loaded in the sense it was very interesting. we came to know about, I mean, all of us, the participants and all of us came
Just
to know about
because
this.
I'm open to critics, because I'm open to critics and I'm open to receive feedback. So just to, because this information will help me in the sense, preparing my next, sessions. Because
First of
I
all,
see that I spoke about ranges of issues, and those things are independent. We can have different session on that, like preparation for interview or takeaway for freshers. These are a session in itself. So I just wanted to give few glimpses. So I thought it should not disturb the entire, the motto of the session. So I don't mind getting, critical feedback so that I can definitely improve on that.
so your achievements themselves are, like very inspiring. It's an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the management, principal, IQAC, staff and students of Besant Women's College, I, Girish Kumar, from the Department of English, sincerely thank the Bureau of Communication, Karnataka, for giving us a chance to host this very informative program and listen to a very eminent speaker, Shri Harish Shetty Vandasari. Sir, thank you very much for the very thought-provoking session. I especially thank Shri Rohit GS, Field Publicity Officer, for being instrumental in organizing this program in our college. I also thank our correspondent, Shri Devanand Pai, for the greetings, and our principal, Dr. Satish Kumar Shetty, for the inaugural address. I thank our management member, Beltangadi Ganesh Krishna Bhatt, for his gracious presence. We are grateful to all the participants who took keen interest and actively participated in this webinar. Thanks to IQAC coordinator and all our colleagues, the technical support team, Ravindra Murthy sir, Mr. Thank you. Participants, kindly note, e-certificates will reach your email ID within 15 days. Thank you.
One thing I just wanted to say that Rohit is a good friend of mine, and we have been a good friend since a long time. Me and he worked together at Barkur, at a government college in Barkur as a guest faculty way back in 2013. But still, we are having a good bond, and he's a good friend of mine. So I really appreciate his concern and his sincere efforts in terms of arranging this, and I also appreciate the Besant College's support to that. So
Thank you very
I
much.
thank each and everyone for your patient hearing.
Thank you, sir. We are really privileged to listen to you. Thank you so much.